This is Mike Griffin of Donaldson Run Recreation Association. Thank you for taking the time to review this presentation. In this presentation, I'm going to set forth an overview of the recommendations of the Long Range Facilities Planning Committee and the Donaldson Run Board of Directors for facilities improvements at Donaldson Run. Before I begin, though, I wanted to make clear the process point. The plan that is outlined in this presentation is a recommendation, a recommended plan by the board and the committee for facilities improvements. But according to the bylaws of Donaldson Run Recreation Association, none of these projects can go forward until the members have considered and approved them. So we'll be commencing a process of meetings later on this year to formally present the proposal and hold a vote. The facilities at Donaldson Run date back to the late 1950s when the pool was built. They are in good shape overall, particularly our swimming pool, which we had reviewed by a professional engineer in recent years, and the conclusion was it's in remarkably good shape. The bathhouse, as people who use it can see, is in less good shape. It's in need of significant repairs to the roof and some of the other structural elements of the bathhouse, and obviously the locker rooms, the fixtures and the tile, for instance, have outlived their useful life. So there's plenty of work to be done at Donaldson Run. So the committee and the board have undertaken a process over the last couple of years of looking at a long-range plan for our facilities needs to try to identify what Donaldson Run needs for the future, what repairs and what improvements are needed to bring the association into the next 50 years of its existence. So the committee and the board have recommended a two-phase approach. In phase one, we'll address issues with our main swimming pool. Specifically, we propose to renovate the main pool diving well to conform it with current standards for depth and length. In addition, we propose to install additional accessibility improvements to make the pool better accessible for all members, but in particular to make it accessible to members and guests who have disabilities. We'll talk a little bit more in detail about the elements, each of the elements of the plan. For now, let me just provide an overview. In phase two of the project, we would recommend addressing the bathhouse, accessibility improvements, and the wading pool. The bathhouse does require significant repairs. Overall, the building is structurally sound, but the roof, for instance, is in significant need of repair. It leaks, the eaves are rotten, and it no longer, it does not meet current code requirements in terms of loadings for snow loads, wind loads, and the like. We have identified the need to improve the roof, to repair it, and given the deficiencies in it, I think it's best to replace that element of it. And other elements of the bathhouse as well need repairs, including support posts for the roof overhangs, utilities, and the like. And then the fixtures themselves, toilets and showers, tiles, flooring, for instance, as I've said, have all outlived their useful life. While upgrading those facilities, making those repairs and doing those upgrades, we also propose other improvements to the bathhouse. Most importantly, constructing an accessible family restroom that would include changing facilities, shower facilities on a standalone basis outside the locker rooms themselves, in a standalone family restroom that would be akin to the type you see in airports and other public facilities. We'd also maintain accessible showers and toilets and the like in the individual locker rooms. We also plan to improve our snack bar and create some more storage. Accessibility is an important aspect of Donaldson Run. We are on a very hilly site, as everyone knows, and the pathways present a challenge for those people with disabilities, as well as children and families with strollers and the like. So we propose accessibility upgrades in those areas as well. And then the wading pool no longer is up to modern standards in terms of compliance with the Americans with Disabilities Act. and also just in compliance, conformance with typical standards for wading pools. New question about point about timing of this project. We would like to propose that this project be undertaken during the 2011-2012 off season. We believe we can get it permitted in time, designed in time, and the work done in time. And we think we can do it using existing reserve funds that the association has established over the last several years. I'll make the comment that our treasurers, Jack Gordon in particular, who recently left the board, had the foresight to establish and budget for a reserve fund that, in anticipation of the need for repairs or improvements to our pool, we've accumulated a reserve fund which we think will be enough to cover the work on the main pool. We'll confirm that goes forward and when we bring a plan to the membership, but we're optimistic that we can pay for those out of existing funds. In the Phase 2 projects, the bathhouse is kind of the big ticket item, the one that's most noticeable, and I'll just tick through some of the improvements we'll make there. The roof will be replaced. We'll try to retain the same translucent roof, which brings in lots of light and air into the bathhouse, which is a nice feature. We'll retain the existing configuration of the locker rooms and guard offices and the like, while upgrading fixtures and surfaces and the like. Do some modest aesthetic improvements to the exterior to make it look nicer. The snack bar will maintain that in the same place, but upgrade its appliances, its surfaces as well. And finally, we'll create a seating area on the hill overlooking the pool. Currently a grassy area, but we'll put down some flooring, some paving stones and the like, create a seating area there. And as I mentioned before, install a family accessible bathroom and a storage room. We think we won't be able to get this work done this off-season. We'll probably need to push that off until the following off-season, given the time it would take to design it. Accessibility. I have mentioned the Americans with Disability Act, but the Virginia Building Code, which is applicable to us, also requires accessible routes to and from the building, to and from the pool. Our pathways and stairways currently do not comply, so we're looking at installing gentle sloping pathways from the parking lot to the bathhouse to accommodate that accessibility. Finally, the wading pool. Again, ADA requirements are applicable here, and we're proposing to construct a new wading pool that have a zero depth entry and potentially some water play features depending on the budget. Let me just mention some alternative designs that we looked at. We have spent the last couple of years looking at a variety of options for our long-range facilities, including raising the bathhouse and building a new one, various forms of accessibility improvements to allow access to our members, including disabled members, including elevators and the like. We quickly would run into very significant costs for extravagant proposals like that. So we have recommended a renovation route for the bathhouse and try to maintain the projects that we're proposing to be as modest, to be relatively modest, but still create facilities that will take Donaldson Run into the next 50 years and be as functional while being efficient. Our criteria we believe we've satisfied. We think our facilities will be safer, they'll be user-friendly and accessible to all our guests and members, and they'll be efficient and accurate. Just talk briefly about next steps. We're in the phase now where the board has approved the recommendation of the Facilities Committee, and we're rolling out the recommendations through this presentation and various other meetings we'll have with the membership. We'll continue this outreach to gain to roll out the plan to our members, while at the same time consulting with our architect and our engineer to obtain bids and proposals for the pool work, as well as for the Phase 2 work, the bathhouse and accessibility improvements and the like. And in the fall of this year, we will conduct a member meeting to advance a proposal for the Phase 1 work, which is the main pool work, along with the funding proposal. Again, we expect that to be paid for out of reserves. And then a little bit farther down the road in the fall, will convene another member meeting, perhaps at the annual meeting in December, to propose the Phase 1, formally propose the Phase 2 projects and a funding plan for it. So stay tuned. We will continue to consult with the membership and continue to develop these proposals, and with a goal of developing these facilities over the next couple of years at Donaldson Run, and trying to maintain the place, going forward for the next 50 years of Donaldson Run's existence. So thank you. On this last slide, we've put some contact information. We'd welcome members' feedback, and we do ask you to reach out and let us know what you like, what you don't like about the plan, and let us know how we may be able to improve it. Thank you very much.